Namaskaram. I'm coming with another podcast, and today I'm really happy. I'm with Dr. Shariq Nisar, and a lot of respect to Dr. Sir. And I have met him when I was in Bombay. It's about, I think, close to 7-8 years now. And he's a scholar, he's a professional into Islamic finance. And he has done a lot of contribution towards Islamic finance, I would say. And he was guest faculty at Harvard Business School, then law school. Then in the University of Luxembourg, he's teaching Islamic finance. And he's taken a lot of initiative into Indian stock market in terms of setting up Sharia index, both NSE and BSE, now associated with the BSE. And a lot of businesses who are genuinely interested to get into Sharia way of business, he's consulting them and he is educating them. So a lot of contribution in terms of Islamic finance, and a person who genuinely live his life as per Sharia way, as far as I understood. And whatever little interest I had in Islamic finance when we started Pendard, and I had the fortune to talk to this kind of very genuine people who are really making a difference in terms of finance, Islamic finance. So thank you so much, sir, for all the knowledge which you have shared whenever little time which I had a direct interact with you. And you had come to our podcast also through online before. I hope you remember that. And that also was a very good inspiration for many people. So welcome, sir.
So thank you very much, Nikhil, for inviting me and for this very generous introduction. I too am very impressed by your effort and sincerity. And I hope that your efforts pay off in terms of improving knowledge to society, improving market penetration, inclusion, etc. And most importantly, ethical financial system that you and I are very close to.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I think when we talk basics about ethical way of investing, what are the foundations we should look at it? Because we talk about in stock market investing, we talk about prohibited business, we talk about interest component, we talk about purging and everything. But what is that basic things a person who really want to follow Islamic finance should be aware?
Okay, so basically we call all these products in Indian market as ethical, and different nomenclatures are used in different markets. In fact, even word Islamic is not used in many Muslim countries. So what we mean is that Islamic law prohibits certain activities, certain businesses. Prima facie, those businesses, those activities are considered to be largely harmful to society. And Islamic law doesn't allow one to profit from by causing harm to society. So all those sectors, activities like alcohol, gambling, tobacco, vulgar entertainment, etc., which causes different kinds of social problem in the society, is considered to be avoided. And in addition to this, the most important feature as far as Islamic finance is concerned is avoidance of riba and interest, which is translated as interest. And because of this, the entire financial sector, which is dealing with interest, like banking sector, like even insurance sector, and many products in the capital market, these become no-go for believers. Mm-hmm. And because of this, there are different kinds of Sharia screening methodologies have come up. You name all big players like index service provider, S&P, Dow Jones, FTSE, MSCI, and in all major capital markets, right from Southeast Asia, Indonesia, Malaysia, all the way to Middle East. They all have certain kinds of methods to select stocks which are acceptable for these believers.
Okay. So we have a speculation also issue, right? So in Islamic finance, we talk about speculation also. That is also against the way of doing business, right? So could you talk about
So
that?
also, in English we say that money is needed for three purposes: transaction, precaution, and speculation.
Okay.
In English, in economics also we call it. So in economics and English, if you take speculation, means basically investment, taking risk. But when you look at translation of Sharia, certain Sharia words like gharar, many scholars have translated that in English as a speculation. So, but then they may not match. Basically, what is prohibited is, in addition to the sectors that I have mentioned, riba, gharar, and masir. Riba, we already know that it is interest. Gharar is a kind of situation where two parties are dealing with each other, and where important component of their transaction is either hidden, uncovered, or has the potential of creating dispute in future. Right? Now, that situation, for example, I sell something to you, but what I'm selling is not very specifically known to you. What price I'm selling to you, or what price I'm going to get from you is not very clear. Whether you are capable of delivering an item that you are selling is not in your hand. Or somebody selling something that is still like unripened fruit, etc. So those kind of examples are there, which is considered to be gharar and which is translated into speculation. But when we try to use the word speculation in the way it is used in English, I think that will not meet the requirement of gharar.
Okay.
So we have to understand from Sharia point of view that if the price, if the quantity, quality, delivery date, etc. are unknown or not known to the parties transacting with each other, that will be gharar. Many times Sharia scholars say that normal gharar is okay, which is normal speculation or which is part and parcel of any business transaction, but excessive speculation is not okay. And many scholars try to find that current derivative product where people buy certain items and at the time of maturity they do not take delivery and they cross over to next period and next period and next period.
Okay.
And they think that this kind of product is not economically productive for the society and therefore it should be prohibited.
Oh, okay. So when it comes to, we have a lot of people are into forex trading. We have a lot of people into crypto. So how do you see that?
So as far as forex trading is concerned, there is absolutely no problem.
No problem.
There is absolutely no problem. The only requirement is, and that requirement is coming from the prohibition of riba. How interest is defined, how interest is loophole to interest can be avoided, etc. So there is a condition that if currency is being exchanged,
Okay.
it has to be exchanged at the spot. Now, so if somebody is dealing in currency, they has to deal in spot. They have to deal in
Not in derivative
not
product.
in derivative product.
Okay.
But definitely there is absolutely no problem as far as dealing in forex is concerned, because otherwise it will stop the whole life
No,
business.
forex means, I mean forex trading, forex derivative trading.
Yes, forex derivative trading many scholars will have. But if I want to deal in dollar and euro and pounds and rupees and ringgit, there is absolutely no issue.
No issue. But derivative trading is prohibited.
Yes.
Okay. And crypto also.
Crypto is an interesting case because you will find scholars who say yes. There are scholars who also say no. Now, crypto is an evolving scenario. Some scholars who are very progressive, they say that if you ban something, right, you ban the innovation itself.
Oh, okay.
Right? But many scholars say that there are a lot of gharar type situation in the cryptos. You do not know what you're buying. You do not know whether you will get the delivery or not. You do not know the quantity. You do not know their production system. And therefore you must avoid.
Okay.
So those who are very security oriented, they say that wait and watch. Those who are innovation supporting, they say it's okay.
Okay. So when it comes to stock and call and options and futures, is it allowed trading? I'm talking about derivative trading.
Derivative, I would say that in many Muslim countries, the capital market itself is not very developed.
Okay.
And scholars have abhorrence, some kind of fear for that. But if the basic Islamic requirement of prohibition of riba, gharar and masir is adhered to,
Messer, I think you may need to
Messer is also known as qimar or gambling.
Okay,
So gambling is prohibited. Gharar, which is uncertainty in business transaction, is prohibited. Riba is a kind of money, earning money without taking risk. So this is also prohibited.
Okay.
And bottom line of this all is that Sharia, the basic objective of Sharia is protecting people from harm and seeking benefits for them.
Okay.
So whatever is having potential to cause harm has to be stopped at the level it causes harm.
Okay, good. So when it comes to stock, we can buy and not intraday, is it possible?
So there is absolutely no reason to prohibit intraday, and I'm saying this with a lot of responsibility. What happens that people often get confused between short selling and intraday.
Okay.
Right? Because the fun in intraday is in short selling.
Okay.
Right? Now, from Sharia point of view, you cannot sell what you do not have.
Yeah.
Right? And when people speculate in the morning that certain stocks is going to go down, and they sell on that assumption. They sell on that assumption, hoping that they will buy in the evening. And even if they buy, actually when they sold something in the morning that was not theirs, is infringing the right of the actual owner.
Okay.
And because of that, it is prohibited.
Okay, but intraday you can buy.
Intraday, there is no time limit for ownership in Sharia.
Okay.
If you are an owner, you can sell in a minute.
Okay.
So because if you are a genuine owner of something, nobody could put a time limit.
Yeah.
Because if there is a loss, the real person has incurred losses because of the time limit.
Yeah. Then
so there is no time limit.
Then you can't do business also.
Exactly.
You cannot buy the fish and sell it immediately. Yes. You have to keep some time, right?
Exactly. I remember there was a time when I wanted that this kind of things should not be permitted by scholars. And I have the honor of meeting one of the topmost Sharia scholars who was founder of Darus Sharia Dubai. He was advisor to the Dubai Islamic Bank, Sharjah Islamic Bank, and Emirates Islamic Bank. And he said that, Sharik, in Medina's market, people used to sell camel by just throwing the rope from one to another hand. So there is no time limit.
Okay. That makes sense. So you can do short time investing and investing for long time. Everything is possible.
That is left to the people.
And you need to engage only on that the list which is not prohibited.
Yes. So there is a Quranic verse which says that ta'awanu alal birri wat taqwa wa la ta'awanu alal ismi wal udwan. That translate into that cooperate with each other in goodness and virtues, and do not cooperate with each other in vice and crimes.
Okay.
Right. So when we buy good stock, this is a part of cooperating in goodness. When we buy a stock that is spreading evil in society, then you are supporting evil, and that is not allowed.
Okay. So basically, you are partnering with the good business.
Yes.
The good nature business.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. And
there is no restriction of who the owner is.
Okay.
So as long as the owner is good or business is good, there is no requirement for any other kind of what kind of people and which color, caste, religion, etc.
Okay, very good. And another thing is that in terms of some companies have loans and that kind of a thing. So that also another problem, right? When you invest, so that
yes.
is again we have a lot of doubt, right? Because every quarter can change also.
Yes. So yes, I'll tell you. The reason is, so what happens, Sharia screening of stocks happens at two levels. One is it's what the business itself is, where you are becoming equity partner. If the business itself is haram or, from Sharia point of view, not supporting the welfare of the society, then you are spreading something which is prohibited, and therefore you cannot be part of it. Once that stage is over, then all those halal companies or permissible companies or companies into good businesses supporting welfare of the society are included. They are eventually involved in certain level of borrowing and end up paying interest. There are also companies which have generated surplus cash, and for lack of opportunity, for lack of security, etc., they end up putting those money into interest-bearing avenues. Now, since interest is a very sensitive issue for Islamic one, So Sharia scholars across the globe have created financial screening criteria where companies crossing certain thresholds are removed from the potential portfolio. So, and normally this is 1/3 of the, debt. So if the debt is more than 1/3 of total asset or market cap, then one is expected to remove that normally. And in India, this threshold is quite conservative. So in India, this threshold is to 1/4, not 1/3. So BSE and NSE both have interest debt to total asset criteria of 25%.
Very good.
Companies which are earning interest inadvertently or incidental earning, because their main business is anyway compliant. So Sharia scholars have said that at least 95% income has to be pure. And if 5 or less is impure, you can still be part of it, provided you calculate your portion of the impure and give that in charity, which is supporting the public causes. You cannot give charity to yourself. So that is how. So a company having 95% operating income, let's say from pharma, IT, steel, FMCG, etc., would still be allowed. And if a company is less than 95% is non-compliant, then it is not allowed. But again, in India, BSE and NSE both follow a criteria where clean income is at least has to be 97%.
97%.
So the most strong, most conservative criteria across the globe, including Arab countries, is India's criteria. And here, at least 97% income has to be clean and pure from Sharia point of view. And less than 3 or less than 3, it can be still calculated. It should be calculated. And portion according
profit
to the
portion you can
not profit, but the income portion.
Actual income portion.
So we calculated debt to interest income to total income. So irrespective of the fact whether company has earned profit or not, whether distributed profit or not, it will still be calculated, and it has to be pro rata given in charity.
Is it when they sell it or a notional profit?
No, every year they will have to calculate. So if they are holding it, fine. There is nothing related to when they bought, when they sold, except that when they bought, when they sold is required to know the quantum attributable to you as an investor.
So when they sell it, whatever that income, the income generate, whatever.
No. So it is not from capital gain or capital loss. It is not linked to profit earned or not. It is just like, for example, I'll give a simple example. If you invested in a company that earned 2% interest income, right? And you held the share for 1 year. So that means whatever share you owned it, 2% of that has to be given, given in charity. It's not that you have to sell it. So let's say how we calculate? We calculate per share impure income. So total impure income divided by total share, you have per share impure income. Divided by 365 is per share per day impure income. And multiplied by your number of shares and your number of days that you held it is your amount that is to be purged. Whether the company has earned, you have earned profit or not, you still have to give that.
Which means your capital invested also part of it. So whatever that asset which you have accumulated. So let's say 1 lakh I invested and it become 2 lakh. So for that 2 lakh, this percentage.
So if you bought, let's say 10,000 share and you invested for 180 days. Right. So 180 days of impure income means half year of the impure income for 10,000 is the amount. Now, whether that share price has gone up or down, that is not related.
How much capital you invested?
How many shares you hold it?
So how many shares you hold it with how much price you bought it? That also part of it? No.
Per share interest income, per share impure income.
So which means, per share, let's say 2 rupees means 2 rupees into?
Yes, number of shares that you held for the period.
Okay.
Right. And the same is true for even mutual fund units. So you calculate all the mutual funds underlying assets and then you know per unit impure income. And if you invested for 6 months, so the 6-month responsibility of purging is on you.
So that means, for example, if any Indian mutual funds which we are investing under ethical background, so where do you get that information?
So there are, all these funds are supposed to give information to public through their websites, but there are independent service providers also, and you can avail their services for certain cost, or you may also get to calculate your own because the formula is very clear.
Okay.
Total interest income per share and that you get over the year, right? Divided by the number of shares that you have.
Okay. I think yeah, this makes a lot of sense. Otherwise,
So it is not linked to capital gain or capital losses, because you can have capital losses also.
yeah. So even then, but if you have enjoyed that share, if you held that share, whatever that money for the per unit, you have to.
Yes.
I think
If you own 10% of the company's share, so you are responsible for 10% of the purchasing amount.
Okay.
Right? If you own it for half the year, then you owe it for 5% of that.
5%. So you make it half and do.
Yes.
And, I think these are the fear factor also for some of the people. They want to invest. They think that I don't know what to do, kind of a thing. But and another thing is that when they invest in a mutual fund, right? That all this filtration happens and not to really worry, because the active fund manager is doing that. And in ETF also, this is taken care. So when it comes to gold ETF or silver ETF, gold and silver is actually speaking, it's a Sharia compliant if you buy it. So what about ETF form? Is it?
So what happens? There also, most of the fund managers or AMCs will not invest 100%.
Yeah.
Right? They will buy gold for 95%, or depending upon their scheme objective. Right? Many times 80-20 ratios are followed. Right? So one has to see that if the interest income is even in those funds or crossing 5%, universally agreed threshold, those gold and silver products should be avoided.
Okay. You should.
And within that, if the income is less than 5%, then you know that what portion of the income that is possible to be known through fund balance sheet also, that can be given in charity.
Okay, so basically, when you look at the asset investor, you can see that how much debt percentage is there. If that is a 5% below, very well allowed.
Yes.
Both.
So other than Sharia product, all these mutual fund use a common platform of TRIP that right? So they invest and they are earn daily interest, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Now in Sharia product, that is not possible. And if gold ETFs are using those, gold prima facie Sharia screening is not required.
Okay.
But then if they are earning interest, though investors must get rid of that portion attributable to their investment for their period of.
So basically, when we are investing, we should look at what percentage of debt allocation is here. If it's less than 5%, it's very well allowed.
Yes, across the globe and including there is
in India, means 3%.
Yes, so Indian market, we are a little more enthusiastic about it, and so. The reason for India is also one that India provides one of the largest options for Sharia compliant investment.
Okay.
If you look at all Muslim countries taken together, major 7 economies, they will hardly have 500 Sharia compliant stocks. India alone will give more than 1,000 Sharia compliant stocks.
Okay.
So we can afford to be a little more stringent.
Okay.
Not only because we want to be stringent, we do want, but at the same time, if this comes without much cost, then it is welcome. For example, when NSE took me to Bangladesh to create Sharia index for Chittagong Stock Exchange, when we applied Indian criteria, hardly any stocks were passing.
Okay.
So we had to loosen the criteria to make companies pass that Sharia screening criteria to begin with.
Okay.
So when you look at the evolution of Sharia screening, there was no Sharia screening at all in the beginning. Then business screening, then financial screening, and then now purging.
Okay. No, it's brilliant. I think it's a very good fact you are revealing, that India has a more Sharia company than any other countries across the world.
Except USA, India is the second largest provider of Sharia compliant stocks in the world.
Okay. Yeah, US have a more...
Because equity culture is more.
Equity culture is more. But it's still okay, because compared to other Islamic countries and all, we have more. That is bigger.
Even Europe, India is far ahead of.
Oh, okay.
India is far ahead of.
Okay. So when it comes to debt investing, so is there any debt product which is available under Islamic or Sharia way?
So at the moment in India, it is not. When I was working with Quantum Asset Management Company, so one will notice that in the SID, Scheme Information Document, we have mentioned a provision for Sharia compliant debt. So we have mentioned there. Many a time people don't misread it. They think that we have allowed debt come. But what we have put as a condition there is that it has to be Sharia compliant debt. When we say Sharia compliant debt, actually it doesn't mean that interest earning debt. It could be fixed income earning instrument, but Sharia compliant. For example, Sukuk, which is Islamic bond. There are many fixed income instruments which are Sharia compliant. For example, rental incomes are fixed. Tomorrow you could have REIT. It gives you fixed income, rental income. It is not haram. So not all fixed income are haram. Not all flexible income are halal. Right. Okay. So we have kept a provision. If God willing, we get that option in future, we will apply that. And until that, we will have all the money in the current account of the bank.
Okay. So as of now, current account.
Yes.
But if in future, if it's there, we will.
Yes, we will not have to go back to SEBI again.
Okay, good. So when it comes to REITs in India, is it halal?
So REIT prima facie, yes, because there is nothing haram in that. So from Sharia point of view, one more thing is very important to notice is everything is permissible except what is not. So there is in worldly matter, business matter, there is a general permission. If somebody says no, they will have to provide proof. If somebody says haram, they will have to, the onus of proving haram is on the claimant. Otherwise, things are considered to be permissible. So applying this law, real estate is also permissible unless there are dedicated real estate properties which are selling, trading, benefiting from haram activities like alcohol, gambling, factories like that, etc. But normally you will not have a whole building selling only alcohol.
But I think, for example, if REITs, if they have a hotel and that hotel has a alcohol serving, then
so what happens? This is interesting because in India we do not have income recorded in that way. So interest income can be recorded. So we can know that 5% criteria can be applied. But if a hotel is there, restaurant is there, we do not know what portion of income from that restaurant is coming from selling non-halal food or non-halal beverages, etc. But in country like Malaysia, they have this provision. So they can segregate, and based on their criteria, which they have 15% threshold limit. So if the hotel is earning up to 15% haram, they are still saying allow.
Okay. So as of now in India, it's not there. So we can consider
because reporting system is not there. So we have to either leave the whole sector or actually.
Okay. Yeah. Makes sense. This is interesting. So that means REITs also another, because the biggest problem for people who follow ethical way of investing, retirement is a challenge. Because retirement time, if we need to do SWP, we need to look for a balanced advantage fund. So in that is there. So giving a mutual fund for SWP is not a wise for ethical way of investing. So REITs is one product which we may consider.
In fact, there are many people who are trying to impress upon NPS and pension fund, etc., that they should create Sharia compliant fund like mutual fund industry has been able to do it. So while we have only three mutual funds at the moment which claim to be Sharia compliant, which are certified Sharia compliant, there are dozens of PMS also. So market is moving in that direction. Market is clear that in case there is a demand from public, what actually I think is going to support is if the community is able to create awareness about such product, if the community is able to ask for such product and support such product, I think it is only a matter of time that players will come up with some kind of solutions closest to their ethical requirement.
Correct. This is a matter of awareness.
Yes.
Because there are a lot of professionals.
Yes.
In you know better than me, but there are a lot of people who are professionals, doctors. They really looking for ethical products.
Yes.
And they are, some people, they are not even investing because they are afraid that whether it's ethical or not.
Yeah. In many Western countries, actually, the government allowed Islamic finance like UK, USA, etc. because they realized that many professionals are excluding themselves voluntarily. And that was not good for them and not good for the society and system as a whole. So I think in our country also, professionals are realizing and they are trying to come up with product that is closest to their customers' thought process. And doctors and other people will be very happy to subscribe to such, and not only why doctors only, all professionals.
All professionals. I mean, people who are genuinely making decent income.
Yeah. We need such people in the market actually. Yeah. And that is why I think BSC and NSC both have Sharia indices.
Okay. So when it comes to insurance, especially in India, health insurance, see, maybe a person who is following ethically and who is making pretty decent income, he can say that I don't want to, get into health insurance. But when it comes to Islamic, or let's put it as ethical investing, what about your take on term insurance and health insurance?
So we all know that insurance is of two categories. One is life, another is non-life. And in India, we call non-life as general insurance, and health insurance is part of that general insurance. Now, so I would start with first Sharia opinion on that. So as I said that Islamic law of finance are very clear about not allowing riba, gharar, and masir, right? Now, so insurance companies, when they make investment in the fixed income instrument because their liabilities are fixed and they cannot risk investing in equity product except for a very small portion. So that is one objection from Sharia point of view, that insurance companies earn interest on their investment. Another very important problem from Sharia point of view is that in our country and many other countries of the West, what insurance we practice is actually a commercial insurance, where a company comes and sells its, sells its product, buying the risk of the policyholder, accumulating the risk of policyholder, and selling the risk of all that it has accumulated to reinsurer. So basically, commercial insurance is a kind of business model where risks are being traded, right? Right? You pay a premium and you get rid of your risk of health or vehicle or assets, etc., etc. From Sharia point of view, this is exactly the case of gharar. Trading in risk, right, is something which is gharar, and that should not be. So the insurance has second problem, which is, and this is a major problem in insurance model, which is gharar. And then if you look at third prohibition of insurance, third prohibition of Sharia is masir, gambling. Now, if you look at the business model of insurance companies will earn profit if they pay less claim, right? So the profit comes by not paying more, by not paying what is promised. And that is why you see insurance companies, coming up with rules afterwards, after the incident, saying that, you are not eligible for. So insurance companies, they try to avoid paying to the best of their abilities because that is the only way to earn profit for their shareholder. Similarly, the parties also, when they get into situation of claiming, they don't care about, and they sometimes file more than what the actual claim is. So both parties have interest, which is coming from the compromising the interest of other parties. From Sharia point of view, gambling is exactly this, like this.
Okay.
My interest can be protected only at the cost of your interest, and your interest can be protected only at the cost of my interest. This is something called masir. In trade, both the parties are happy. In gambling, only one party is happy. And since, from Islamic point of view, this is something very tricky. So what happens if you look at the most of the Scandinavian countries and even in Japan, and there is a concept of mutual insurance.
Okay.
Not a shareholding owned company coming and buying risk. It is basically people joining together, pooling fund and protecting each other, right? So this kind of model is known as mutual insurance. In Saudi Arabia, it is known as cooperative insurance, and that is closest to Sharia compliance. In our country, this model was actually allowed until 2015 amendment of Insurance Act. There are some informal groups also which are into mutual insurance. But so this is a concept about. Many Sharia scholars in our country, as far as health insurance is concerned, they have allowed out of extreme emergency. So there is Sharia scholars, or there is a group of Sharia scholars who say that protecting life is more important, protecting health is more important than violation happening because of subscribing to insurance product. So they say that out of the two harms, choose the lesser harm and give up the harm. So lesser harm is compromising Sharia and bigger harm is compromising your health. So many scholars have allowed it, but as of now at personal level, I still support the mutual model.
Mutual model, but mutual model is not there in India.
There are informal. There are informal. Yeah. So there are some agencies which are doing mutual insurance model because this is a real Sharia. People joining together to help each other. Okay, understood. I think so. But because this may not be involved,
people may not know actually.
Yes. People do not know it. India is still emerging market. A very small portion of the market is now offering Sharia compliant product.
Okay.
Right. The reason is that even the Muslim community is not aware of.
Yeah.
They do not know what is Sharia actually, what is not. So there is always a confusion. If we are able to improve market awareness on both sides, the customers and the product offers, I think it will help. And in the global financial world, if you have a good model, regulator is always ready to listen.
Okay, but as of now, if in extreme cases, health insurance can be.
Yes, it is allowed by Sharia scholars.
Okay.
And some of the most important Sharia scholars, including the present chairman of Muslim Personal Law Board, has allowed it.
Okay, and the term insurance, no.
Now, so how do you define actually? So, when they say that something is allowed in urgency, something is allowed as they call in Arabic, istirari kafiyat, extreme situations. So, by choice, it is not. Wherever law is making it mandatory, that is allowed. And when there is a condition like health, it is allowed.
Okay. And another thing is that vehicle insurance. So, some say that the third party is okay, but that full cover is not okay. So what is your take?
Okay. So again, when people, we reach out to Sharia scholar, their first opinion was that whatever is mandated, you have no escape. Yeah, right? So even if it is not allowed in Sharia, but still it is mandated by the law of the land, you must follow the law of the land. That was one. Now, with this condition of allowing extreme health situation, people know that if they meet with accident, it is better to have third party.
Yeah.
But how many people will apply that logic given by Sharia scholars is to them.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I hope this is a very good information so far, you said, because there is a lot of confusion, especially people who are genuinely follow ethical principles in terms of insurance. And another point, especially for succession planning for Islamic families, how is it they give the right to will, especially for a spouse, especially for a woman in the family? So how do you really treat that kind of issue?
People in their lifetime are given right to dispose of the properties that they want to do business, etc. But when they near their, or they fear that they are nearing the end, they are not empowered more than 1/3 to give up to the people they want. So from Sharia point of view, one who is not allowed to change the Islamic law of inheritance, right? Maximum permission given is to 1/3. So 1/3 can be willed to non-family member. And family members are already part of the Islamic law of inheritance. Now, if somebody wants to will to the existing family member, then there are scholars who say that no objection is required from other inheritors. If it is given to outside who is not inheriting otherwise, the person owning the property has right up to 1/3.
Okay, 1/3 you can give to outside the family, and 2/3
has to be distributed according to the law of inheritance.
So is it if I need to give only to my wife, is it allowed, or is it go to mother, brother, then
no? For me also, this is a difficult question.
Okay.
Because there are ways wife's interest can be protected after the main breadwinner is gone. But I think tinkering with Islamic law of inheritance may not be a great idea. But yes, it is responsibility of the entire society to look after. And the husband has power to protect in his lifetime the interest of his spouse.
Okay. Good. I think we have covered so many points here, and especially when it comes to Islamic finance and ESG as a concept, environment, society, and governance. Not only Muslims, there are non-Muslims also really interested to get into this kind of
yes,
investing.
ESG is a flavor.
ESG is a flavor, and I think there are a lot of alignment. And these days, younger generation especially, they don't want to really harm the society. So there are people who are very passionate about environment as a first theme, or they don't want to, knowingly or unknowingly, they don't want to keep any harm to other people.
Right.
And this is a method which we can really follow.
Yes.
value system is really correct.
So actually, ESG came later, but it has gone much ahead of Sharia. One difference between the two is Sharia's basic requirement is to avoid haram, but it doesn't stop at that level. It encourages people to keep doing good.
Okay.
But what is must is that harm cannot be caused.
Okay.
So avoidance from harm is the first basic requirement, but it doesn't stop there, saying that no, you have done enough. You are always allowed to go for best, and ESG is that best.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
So you look after environment,
Okay.
you look after society, you look after the way the institutions are governed,
Governed, yeah.
and these all are positive. And I think that ESG is Sharia plus.
Okay, but I think in ESG we allow banks.
Yes, because the interpretation of law of interest. You'll be very happy, perhaps, to note that there has always been regulation on interest in all religious societies, right? Right from the oldest religion, that is Hinduism, you see that certain type of caste, certain type of people can deal in interest, but certain type of people cannot.
Oh, okay.
This is a kind of regulation.
Okay.
You come to the next Jews, and they cannot deal in interest, but they have interpreted in such a way that they cannot deal in interest within themselves.
Okay.
They can charge interest from outsiders.
Oh, okay,
Right?
okay.
You come to Christians, and there also interest is prohibited, but their regulation says that you cannot charge beyond certain rate, and less than that is a smaller portion to cover for risk and liquidity and something, and that is why it is called interest, which is coming from word inter, say taking a smaller portion.
Okay.
But in all these societies, you also have Usury Act. If you charge high interest rate, you are not allowed. And then coming to Muslim community also, taking any kind of a return or benefit on interest, on lending, whether tangible, intangible, smaller rate or high rate, from this community or that community is all prohibited.
Okay.
So if you see across religion, there has been certain kind of restrictions imposed on paying, charging, and benefiting from people's difficult situation. So Islam being the latest or modern religion in terms of age, it is closest to its book, and interpretation is that no amount of interest is to be charged from anyone. Nobody can say that interest can be charged by Muslim from non-Muslim, etc.
Okay.
So that is very sentimental, and I think that other than this interest, there is a lot of overlap between ESG and Sharia.
Okay. So even another thing is charged, and even you can pay also.
Yes. So whenever somebody is charging, somebody is paying.
Okay.
Right? It is just a mirror image. Okay. So what is not allowed for one is also not allowed for other. Sharia doesn't distinguish between the receiver and the payer. It says that this is an unfair transaction where the capital is becoming master over human.
Okay.
And that is not acceptable out of concern for justice.
Okay, good. I think there are so many things covered, and I think I want to talk much on how to conduct the business also. But this is specifically, I think I am restricting to personal finance as a theme. But there are so many things which we need to cover in terms of a business also, because I think your presence here in Kerala, because we have a lot of good set of people who are genuinely want to follow ethical way of doing business, investing, and behave money around this theme also. So thank you so much. And what is your final message for my audience in terms of ethical investing today?
I think the entire Indian society is a value-based society intrinsically, right? I'm not claiming that we are the best people, but we all are religious people, and no religion teaches causing harm to anyone. And I think that is where we all have some kind of commonality, where if we commit ourselves that, come what may, we will not earn by profit by causing harm to others. That is a win-win situation for everyone, especially for the Indian financial sector.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
I not only today, I have learned a lot from you in terms of this particular subject. And my bit, what did I do was that whatever little I have learned from you and any other respected scholars, put it in Malayalam and did some kind of content for people. And I have seen that there are genuinely, sincerely people who are learning this and practicing in their life also.
Thank you very much, Nikhil. I'm very happy and thank you for giving me this chance.
Yeah.
And I hope that this effort of yours is helpful to make a better society, and especially Indian financial sector is better
Yeah.
for this. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.